Hey there viewers, it's Charlie. I'm back again with another Transformers review. And today I shall be reviewing Armada Laserbeak. And right off the bat we can see what is with this color scheme. I mean, it's just so garish. It's orange, got blue. This is colors that you would expect from a Generation 2 figure. Well, there's a particular mode that explains why it's in this garish, eye-bleeding color scheme, but we'll get to that later. So, as you can see, Laserbeak here is actually a camcorder. I mean, sure, why not? I mean, we had a character named Reflector in Generation 1 who was a camera, so it's not too far-fetched. But that's not my main issue. Well, main nitpick. My main nitpick is, if we look at the back, they made this Laserbeak an Autobot. It's just like what they did with Scavenger. Even though it's a Decepticon name in G1, they made it an Autobot. I mean, come on, they did that with Scavenger, they did it with Wheeljack, they did it with this guy. It's just, I hate it when a Decepticon name gets used for an Autobot, and vice versa. Like, Armada did it, Energon did it with Mirage and Roadblock, and Cybertron did it with Breakdown. Although, this was when they were just reusing names all willy-nilly. I mean, we even have an Armada character named Buzzsaw, who's a small Minicon instead of a yellow version of this guy. But yeah, as we can see, Armada Laserbeak here is an Autobot. But nitpicks aside, this is actually a really nice detailed camcorder. You can see all these switches, and I don't know what most of these are for an actual camcorder because, come on, it's 2020. We use our phones to record, as I'm doing right now. Well, at the top, we have these buttons, which I'll show in a few minutes. And we even have a flip-out screen, which actually shows a blurry image of Optimus. And if I wanted to, I would get my figure of Prime, my Armada Prime figure. My tongue's not working anymore. If I could, I would get my figure of Prime and put it there, but, well, I don't want to pause the video just to get them off my shelf, so not today, guys. Sorry. But yeah, this is pretty much just the standard camcorder, although, as I showed, he has some buttons. Now, I'll show this blue one soon, but if we press these, we get a camera sound effect, which makes sense. But if you push it again, I have no idea what that is. I mean, we go from a camera shoot picture, or well, a camera shooting a picture, to what, like gamma rays or something? And with the other button, I mean, that's meant for the bird mode, and then we got a blast sound effect. And well, let's just get to the reason for that sound effect. As you can see, we have this, and if we move this down, he's now supposed to be a gun. Sure. But, well, as the only better transformation this has, I mean, it just looks like a camcorder with a little handle. So, if I just go for the other sound effects, that's where these noises are supposed to come in. Oh, yeah, that's for the transformation. I just ruined that, but if I press the buttons now the sound makes sense. And there's even a button right here, and if you push that, we get more gun sound effects, although that's the only sound from that button. Why couldn't they have wired the blast sound effects to this button? I mean, it doesn't make sense. Also, this is the reason why it's in this horrible, garish color scheme. Because it's a gun. Transformers with gun modes normally never go well with the law, unless it's a target master. Because, do you remember the original Megatron? He's either not available because he's been banned, or he has to have an orange barrel painted on. That's why we haven't had any reissues of the original Megatron. But, getting off topic. So yeah, this handle is also ridiculously short, so yeah. But going back to the camcorder mode, let's just get on to the main mode I display him in. His bird mode. Now, to get him into his bird mode, as saw earlier when I pushed this button accidentally, pushing the blue button will flip out his head. And then if we roll this wheel, well, it's supposed to flip out the wings, although this wing often gets stuck, so we have to do it manually. Then just take these, move them down to form his little bird feet, like so. And finally, split this, so it's like a little bird feathered tail. And here is Laserbeak in his bird mode. And, whoa, this guy is quite big. I mean, for comparison, here he is with Skywarp. So, yeah, that's actually quite hilarious. But if I just get Skywarp off and back on my shelf, because I just grabbed him because he was the nearest guy on my shelf. So yeah, this guy's actually quite big. And hilariously, in the Armada series, this guy was actually supposed to be, like, small enough to fit in a human's hand. Yes, he's bigger than how he is in the show. Then again, this was supposed to be for, like, kids to actually play with, like, how they do in the show, but yeah, the toy definitely suffers for it, because, I mean, this guy's pretty much all automorph. The head automorphs, the wings automorph. Pretty much the only manual thing is sweating the tail and moving down his legs, but that's pretty much it. So, yeah, not much to say. He doesn't really have a head, so I can't even show you that. Just, yeah. And apparently he's got two beaks or lenses. I don't know why. And there's not really anything to say. There's, like, the only articulation is just in his feet, and that's it. I mean, I suppose if you want to, he can sort of flap with the little springs in his wings. And if you want to, well, you can still do the sound effect, although I don't know why you would want to use the I don't know why you would want to use the camera sound effect for this mode. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. I mean, yeah, there's pretty much nothing else to say. I mean, I suppose if you want to, you can move this down and... Okay, sorry, but... just ignoring the ridiculousness of that, that's actually where you fit in the batteries. If you can see that. So... I greatly apologize for both that weird, awkward looking thing when this is down and that loud noise that you just heard. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about Armada Laserbeak. Do I recommend this guy? Only if you really want this guy. I mean, this guy is just... like, this is pretty much just a gimmick transformer all the way through. It's pretty much all auto-transforming. It's got really weird sounds. and it's got this bright, garish color scheme, and, well, if you'll just hold on. Here, I have one of the toy packing comics, and if we open this up to one of the toy ad pages, we can see Laserbeak in a much more Generation 1 faithful color scheme. Granted, he's still an Autobot, but at least it actually looks like Laserbeak's colors instead of the garish orange Generation 2 colors we got here. I mean, if we could have gotten this color scheme, I would be much more nicer to this figure. I mean, remember, the stun weapon, as it's called here, is just a camcorder with that little stick at the end. Why not just scrap that and just make up a camcorder that turns into a bird, so we can actually have the original colors? So, yeah, all because of that gun mode, this guy had to be in this garish color scheme. So that, coupled with the fact that he has almost no articulation and he looks a bit ridiculous, I can't really recommend this guy unless you really, really want him. I mean, I only got this guy because I found him for cheap, so, yeah. So, only get this guy if you really, really want him, or if you're an Armada completionist. Well, that's been my review on Armada Laserbeak, and this is Charlie Young, signing off.